This program is brought to you by UCKG.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Love Talk Show.
Relationships often end with misunderstanding and doubts. You probably said something you did not mean to say and your partner fought you back. This consequently brought the relationship to an untimely end.
However, you know that you want this person back. You are willing to and are trying to get them back, but maybe your ex is unwilling and unyielding. So, we're here to tell you that if you put your mind and your heart to it, you might be able to win them back. And this is today's topic, a chance to win them back. Is there someone who was previously in your life that you want back?
Believe it or not, winning your ex back is actually the easy part. What is hard to do is to keep them, as after all, they already left you once.
What is the point, Anna, of getting back together if you then can't keep the relationship permanently? So let's explore some questions now that you should ask yourself to see if you are prepared to win them back. Pay attention to the points now we are going to make, as they are crucial, they're very important for you to know. What caused the breakup in the first place? So this is a very important, I would say, the first question to ask yourself, because many couples, they try to reconnect without really resolving the issues that caused the breakup in the first place. Or sometimes they even try to move on already to another relationship without understanding what caused the failure in the first. So this is not going to work. Issues are not fixed automatically. Anyone who wants to win love back or win back the love of the one they broke up with, they have to understand, okay, what caused the issue, right? To begin with. How can we resolve this together? And the one that is making the approach has to be ready to discuss about it openly and say, listen, I want to give love a chance again with you, and I believe that this and this and these were the issues. I didn't listen to you. I was trying to have it my way all the time. I was I didn't understand you. I was not tolerant enough. And discuss about this both. It's usually not only the fault of one. Not only one is to blame, but you need to have this interaction and to realize what caused the breakup in the first place.
Because if they don't know the reason that they came to this point to break up, eventually if they come back, if they don't know the reason, they're going to keep repeating the same mistakes.
Yes, so the issue was not resolved. Maybe it was just covered up, right? At some point, it's going to break apart. Why don't you read the second important question to ask?
What was my role in the breakup? So when you are in a relationship, the fault is not just from one partner, right? It's important to recognize what was your mistake in the relationship. Because if you want to go back, okay, but then recognize what were your mistakes in the relationship.
For instance, Anna, many times what a couple will do is just their relationship, didn't work because you didn't do this, because you did that.
It's easy to blame the partner, right?
And the thing is, it's something we already said, and we said more than one time here on the Love Talk Show, but it's important to emphasize this. You can never change your partner. I'll say again, because this really has to stay in you. It's a truth, okay? Don't argue this, please don't question this, because it's something that is just a fact. You cannot change people. You can inspire people to change, yes. You can influence people, yes. But in the end of the day, you can't change people. People only change when they realize they need to change and they want to change. So if I try to focus on what is the other one's role in the breakup, it's not going to work. It's not going to really contribute to the success of us coming back together. I need to realize what I did. And of course, you also had your share of contribution in the breakup, but we need to focus on what each one did and be willing to work on that, right? I can help you and I can
encourage you, inspire you.
Yes. Do you need, any of my support to overcome your insecurity? Do you need any of my support to overcome the selfishness, right? But you cannot focus on fixing the other. You have to realize what you have done and work on your own issues. So you see, Anna, it's already becoming clear that getting back together is not about focusing on the other. Do I have to change? So that is the big question. Yes, if there was a breakup, something in you has to change. As we said before, very likely the other one also has to change. Your partner also has to change. But since you can't change him or her, who is the one that you can change? Is yourself. Do you have to change? Yes. Maybe there are things that you really don't see you need to change and you really love yourself the way you are. And in the end of the day, of course, we're not saying that you're going to become a different person, a different personality altogether, right, Anna? We have our individuality. And if I allow myself, as I do, to be influenced by you, that doesn't make me someone without personality or someone who is just a person without an opinion. No, it makes me stronger. Because if I can admire something that you are better at than I am and learn from you, in the end of the day, I will become a better individual, I'll become a better partner, a better person altogether, better friend, better everything. So it's not a sign of weakness if people realize they need to change. There are things that I thought, I'm not going to change. In the beginning of our marriage, I'm not going to change. This is the way that I am, and if I change in this, then I'm pretty much letting her get by with the way she is. That was a mistake.
Yes. And what I see in this, about this question, do I need to change? Yes, well, because it's not enough just to recognize that you have some mistakes, some flaws. You need to take action, right? Take action towards your own good and the good of the relationship.
Yeah, it's not to recognize, to be just,
you need to change, but don't do anything about it.
And the question actually was, do I have to change? Well, if I'm going to have this kind of approach, okay, I have to change, so no. It's not like you have to change. It's not because you understand you have to. Don't do things because, I have to. It has to come from you. It has to be sincere.
I want to change.
I want to change. I need to change. I recognize that I need. And maybe I need your help. You need mine. And that's it. Be ready to help with one another. Be understanding. For goodness sake, be more understanding. Don't be so harsh on the other one and picky and criticizing the other one on everything. Please be understanding. A good dose of understanding is fundamental to a relationship that is being rebuilt, for a couple that is being brought back together again. All right? The next question.
Am I ready to apologize and show that I have changed? So it's very important, once you recognize and take actions to your change, to be humble towards your partner and show, forgive me the things that I did. And of course, you're going to work together with your partner to show that you really changed, not just with words, but with actions, as you said before.
And depending on what happened, Anna, even sometimes, as hard as you may try to apologize and the other partner may not take the apology. Well, this is not something you can just force the other one to do. But depending on what happened, right? There are cases where there was unfaithfulness. There are cases where there was abuse. There were cases where something serious happened. And in this case, there has to be an understanding if the other one prefers not to come back together and say, sorry, I don't hate you. I forgive you. but it doesn't mean that we are going to be together. There are these cases too, but there are cases where what happened was not that serious, and it doesn't have to be the end of the relationship. So apologies are important. When you say, I'm sorry, you're being humble, you're being courageous, you're showing yourself and to the other one that you are not an individual who believes that you know everything, because you don't know everything. I don't know everything. Which individual can say they know everything? We're all learning. Is that right or not? We're all learning. So when you realize you made a mistake, say I'm sorry. Isn't that what you teach your children? When they do something wrong, what do you tell them to do? Say you're sorry. And why do we lose this as we grow up? There are things we learn from childhood, Anna, that we should not lose. We should not compromise.
Humbleness show greatness. The person that humble themselves, they show something special about them, right?
The greatness of spirit.
Yes.
A person who is really humble has a great spirit. So this part of the show is just an introduction for you to stop and think about today's topic, okay? Which is really important that you do. We're gonna go to a short break and we're gonna talk more about it because we have a lot of good things to show you today. Stay with us. We will be right back. Hello, dear viewer. We are here and we came in the middle of the break to tell you this. The best way for you to learn how to deal with your relationship problems, Anna, is to learn how to deal with
ourselves. If you don't know how to deal with yourself, you don't know how to deal with others.
That's right. That's why we have the Love Therapy. Every Thursday at 8 p.m. in Finsbury Park, 232 Seven Sisters Road, N4, 3NX, and also in some other locations. For more information, visit our website, lovetherapy.co.uk. See you there.
See you.
So welcome back to the Love Talk Show today, and we are talking about something very pertinent and very interesting, which is reuniting with your ex, right? I'm pretty sure there's many people trying to do this right now, and maybe you, viewer, watching the show are dealing with this now, have dealt with at some point, or one day in the future, hopefully not, but might have to deal with it. So it's important for you to take note of the good information that we want to share with you. And now, Anna, we have a very important segment because we're going to talk about do's and don'ts.
Right?
Yes?
Very important. If you want to have that person, the ex, back, there are things that you should do and there are things that you should
avoid
not,
altogether.
Yeah,
yes or no?
avoid.
So we're going to start introducing now the do's and don'ts. Of course, there are many, but we are going to bring at least some that we believe might be the most important ones, all right? So have a look at the first one.
Don't accidentally text them.
So don't accidentally text them, yeah? Sometimes, Anna, people, they know it's already being a little bit too much in terms of calling or texting, and they still, now they realize, oh my goodness, what have I done? I didn't want to lose this relationship, and let me send here a text message, pretend it was by accident, at least as an excuse for me to say, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to send it, but I sent it to you. But that's not a good thing to do, because it shows, just to make the point, it shows at least immaturity. Do you agree? It shows it's an immature step. That's not a good approach.
The person, you know that was not accidentally, right? So it's going to look awkward. It's going to seem awkward, not good at all.
And probably have the opposite result.
Yes.
Instead of helping, putting you both together, is going to be like
the person shows that, okay, give the person space, Right?
This is the point.
Give the person space
This
to breathe.
is the point.
Please.
Like your body needs, for instance, when a person goes through a surgery, it's gonna take a time to heal.
Yes.
It would be great if we could do, surgery today and today go back to work and go back to a normal routine, but no. Just like the body will require time to heal, so does the soul. And many times, depending on what happened in the relationship or led you both to a breakup, the soul is hurt, Anna. And the soul also needs time to heal. And the worst thing that can happen when someone is trying to heal, is that the other one does not respect that time, does not respect the space of the other person and keeps just invading. Hello? Hey? Don't forget about me.
It's very annoying.
Yes. So let the person miss you. Work on yourself. Instead of being maybe over concerned with the other person.
Yeah, what the person is doing, where the person is going to.
Are they seeing someone else?
Yes.
No, you broke up. Work on yourself. Use the tools we gave you on the previous segment. Don't forget about them. Remember those questions that we asked you and respect the space of your partner. All right, let's talk about the second do's or don'ts here.
Don't send a lot of texts to your ex-partner.
Here we go again. It goes hand in hand with the previous one, right?
Yes. Yeah, because now you broke up. Give the person space, again, as you said. Work on yourself. The mistakes that you did, analyze yourself. But if you keep calling, sending text, so you're not going to give the person space or to work on themselves also.
And Anna, just like we have spoken about before, not all the communication is verbal. There's a lot of things that you say with your body language, right? That is even more communicative than your words. The same applies to text messages, right? What message are you really sending if you are flooding the other person with messages? You're coming across as someone who is not respecting the other person. You're coming across as someone who is desperate, right?
Too needy.
Yeah,
right?
You're not. Maybe your text message was, "Oh, hello, thinking about you," but what you're really saying is, "I'm desperate."
I cannot live without you.
Yeah, you're the sun to me.
Yes.
My life gravitates around yours. It's not a good thing. So as Anna is saying, you need to respect the other person's space. You need to, even if you really regret, maybe this is the time, Anna, where one has to stop and say, wow, why did I use those words? How come was I not faithful to this person? I value this relationship so much. But now, mistakes were made. You can't fix the other ones. You can only fix yours. And maybe if one of the reasons for the breakup was that you were trying to always have it your way, that you never listen, and you're going to continue flooding the other person with text messages, sorry, you're just showing that you didn't change. Your true message is, I didn't change. Come on, won't you forgive me? Come on, it's been a week already. You have no control over how long the other person is going to take to heal. All right? On the other hand, we need to make a comment here, Anna, that on both parts, if it is that they're going to work or even consider giving each other a chance, it also shouldn't be a whole year, 2 years, 3 years apart from one another, because the longer it takes to reconnect, the more difficult it gets, right? So there should be also an understanding of this. This distance shouldn't be forever, right? Very good. Let's go for the third do's and don'ts here on the list.
Don't try to make up random situations to meet with them.
Yeah, this is a similar situation to the previous ones that you mentioned, right? Mm-hmm. So, you should not be, what a coincidence.
Yes,
I met you here in the market.
It's even funny, right?
Yeah, it's not a coincidence.
The other one will know that it's not an accidental message, that you're not there by accident. You can come across, once again, Ana, there are things that we do, there are messages we send, but we are coming across with the real message is very different from the other one. So this is, it sounds funny, but it's true. It's not funny at all because you're coming across as someone who is not respecting the other one, period.
Yeah. And you're going to look very fake, right? Oh, you're here.
Insincere.
Yeah, it's not a sincere gesture, right?
And it's going to be awkward. The person is maybe there trying to cope, you know. Bottom line is give. If you really love your partner and you want this relationship to ever work in the future, do not be causing accidental meetings because it's going to do more harm than heal, okay? Let's go to the next one.
Stalking.
Stalking. There are people who do that. My goodness.
Yeah.
It's even
a problem.
It's a law
deep
situation
problem.
here.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be stalking anyone, right? What does this show? If I'm stalking the other person, it's a dangerous thing. Then in this case, coming together should be out of the option. Out of the option altogether. If you're being stalked, our advice is stop and if the stalking continues, even communicate with the law enforcement because no one should be stalking anyone. This is a situation that...
But if you are stalking, you have a problem, you need to ask for help.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Right?
Definitely.
Because
That goes beyond the relationship
yeah,
problem.
Because not
right?
a health attitude. No.
Yeah, at all. In this case, it's important to seek medical help, all right? The next one.
Trying to make them jealous.
Ana, trying to make them jealous. That's a perfect strategy if you are like 10 or maybe 12.
Doesn't work at all. Please don't do this because it's going to backfire, right?
Yes. What kind of message will I be sending to my partner that I supposedly want to reconnect with if I'm making him or see me with another person?
There's a message to the person that you are not the one.
Yeah,
right?
that's the only message. Hey, you know, I'm just showing you, you shouldn't give me a second chance. So you see how sometimes if you don't use intelligent love, that's why we keep saying love intelligently, because these don'ts are emotional
The
behavior.
person is not thinking. The person just going by the emotions, right?
You know, we can go by the heart. Have you ever heard that phrase? Do what your heart says. If you want to do what your heart says, get ready to get into serious problems. Because the job of your heart is not to think. The job of your heart is to feel. And if you're going to live doing what you feel like, you probably end up in jail. You probably end up killing someone or getting killed by someone. So you cannot give the job of decisions to your heart. Use your mind. Love intelligently. And trying to make the other one feel jealous, it is simply the wrong way to try to draw attention back to you. All right?
Yeah. The feelings is still going to be there, but you're not going to let your feelings control you.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely not. That's the wrong approach. We still have another don't to show you today.
Trying to reach them via their friends or family.
Ana, trying to reach them via friends or family. This could work, but this has to be done with balance and with wisdom. For instance, if I'm really close to a sibling or a family member, or if we have close common friends, to try at some point and say, hey, you know, he would like to speak to you, or I feel she's willing to give you a second chance. However, using it too much, trying this all the time, like everything else we discussed about, is going to send a message across that I'm still immature, right? That I don't value myself, right? Because what motivates people to get into a relationship with the other one is the idea that, for instance, if I get in a relationship with you, is because I believe that you can add value to my life. That you have something to offer me to, that together we can be stronger. You are going to say yes to being in a relationship with me if you believe I can offer the same to you. Now, when people do this, they are constantly sending text messages to the other, pretending that they met, that they were there coincidentally, using friends and family all the time. So the message they are really sending across is, I don't value myself. Only you can add value to my life. It's everything to you, zero to me. So this basically has the opposite effect. It is going to discourage the other one from giving you a second chance. If anything, it will say, you know what, I think that after all, I did the right thing in breaking up with this person.
Yeah. Another thing is also, when you try to bring family and friends to in this case, they are not part of the problem. Do you understand? But
Yes.
when they start coming into the relationship, it's not helping. It's not helping at all, because it's a problem between them. They need to solve among themselves, not bring other people. And this can
It's just that in some cases we do understand that they have close friends that are common friends, or the family is close. But as we said, not a don't altogether, but it might become a don't if you're doing this all the time. You're trying to force. Everything that you're trying to force, everything that you're showing disrespect for the space and the time the other person needs in order to heal, you are, excuse me, you are sending the wrong message. Okay, so hopefully this brought good information to you, that maybe even some of these things you might be doing or you did before, and you can learn from this. And if you're just tuning in now, these were basically the don'ts when trying to reconnect with your ex, and we gave some advice on what actually to do in order to make it right. To respect the other person's time. Don't force it. Take your time. Let the other person take their time too, to breathe, to think, focus on helping yourself. Basically, these are important steps. If you missed what we just showed you, just tuning in, here is a list of what we have said about the don'ts when trying to reconnect with your ex. Don't send a lot of text messages to your ex-partner. Don't, quote-unquote, accidentally text them. Don't try to make up random situations to meet with them. And also trying to reach them via friends or family does not work. Definitely do not stalk, right? Please, if you don't want to have problems with the law including. And don't try to make them jealous using other people. This is immaturity. This strategy works when people are 12 or younger, right? And also, if you would like to know more about this or even watch this again, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. This full episode is going to be uploaded, the complete episode, on our YouTube channel, okay? So it's going to be available for you to watch completely free of charge. And also you can
follow us on Facebook and also Instagram.
Yes,
right?
You can follow us on social media. There's material there, footage that they are not even going to have from here, right? A lot of good material, a lot of good stuff. Now, what we're gonna show you next is something that probably you've never seen before, but a very good lesson that we can learn from a watermelon.
You'll never forget.
Yes, right? Edward and Ana, you're going to speak about nutrition. No, it has nothing to do with nutrition. But how can you? You're going to speak about the watermelon and it's not nutrition. No, it's not nutrition. The watermelon experience. What is this? Don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back and show to you what valuable, but really, really valuable lesson, I would say unmissable, we can learn from the watermelon. After this.
This program is brought to you by UCKG.
dear viewer, if you are dealing with difficult problems in your relationship, such as
Fights,
or healing from a harsh breakup,
jealousy,
communication issues, or things of the like, come to the Love Therapy this Thursday and every Thursday at 8 p.m. in Finsbury Park, 232 Seven Sisters Road, N4 3NX. For more information, visit our website, lovetherapy.co.uk. See you here.
see you.
This program is brought to you by UCKG.
So today me and Anna went here to this national wedding event, which is very fine. And Anna, what we're seeing here is that many people, I mean, I'm not talking about those here at the event. This is a great event that happens every year, but in general, couples, they plan up to this point, the wedding day, and they plan about the honeymoon. And after that, that's when the imperfect side of us starts to appear more and problems ensue. So it's important to plan, not only for the wedding day and the honeymoon, but to plan
Yeah, to the hard times. When
yes.
hard times will come, they will be prepared for those days.
So perfect planning prevents poor performance. Remember that. Plan ahead, and this is crucial for your happiness in your relationship. Let's enjoy here a little bit more and continue with the Love Talk Show. So welcome back to Love Talk Show. Now, I guess it's a little bit dangerous, Anna, because look at what we have in front of us.
Oh.
A bunch of elastic bands, a watermelon here, and protective gear. It's the watermelon experiment. It's about what to avoid in order to not be separated. It's about being proactive. So let us put on this protective gear here and we'll show you how it works.
Non più tra i farfalloni amoroso, notte e giorno di torno girano, delle belle turbando al riposo, Narcisetto a dolcino d'amor. Delle belle turbando al riposo, Narcisetto a dolcino d'amor.
So now, Anna, we're ready.
Yes, for our experience.
Yeah, the watermelon experience. What is this about? As we said, it's about being proactive. Avoiding to add pressure to a relationship that maybe is already under pressure.
Yes.
And we are going to see that if we put too much pressure, what can happen during this
Let's see,
demonstration.
yes.
For instance, Anna, things that can bring pressure to the relationship. Always blaming the other one. There I go. Always blaming the other. And I put it here. Okay? You never do anything right. You know, it's your fault. Why did you do this?
Yes.
Right? You can't do anything right. It adds pressure there.
Yes. And another thing that can put pressure is jealousy. If you're insecure about yourself, you're always jealous about your partner, these also can put pressure in your relationship, right?
Yeah, we're gonna see what's gonna happen here because it looks like the watermelon is strong.
Yes.
Right? So, but let's see how much
Seems
it can take.
nothing's going to happen, but
Yes.
let's see what's going to happen.
And for instance, another thing is when there are, for instance, financial difficulties, I'm going to add a couple here just to make the experience easier. One of the worst things that can happen is to start fighting over money. Fighting. Instead of using an intelligent approach, fight over money. You know you're spending too much, you don't get anything right, you are a spender. I don't even know how it's gonna go in here. Maybe I put too much, but yeah. There you go. More pressure in the relationship, fighting over financial issues instead of discussing about them intelligently.
Yes. Another thing that can put pressure is lack of appreciation. When you don't appreciate your partner, You never say nice words, never
You don't pay attention.
don't pay attention.
You never compliment.
Yeah,
right?
never
You're very
compliment.
good at pointing out the mistakes, but never good at complimenting, never good at saying something nice. It's important, right? To notice that you did your hair in a different way. You bought a different clothes. Oh, you are making time for me. These things
Sometimes
are important.
at work or outside the house, you appreciate other people and show appreciation, but sometimes in the relationship, they don't show this appreciation.
Yeah, another thing, too much jealousy. Here we go. I'm gonna add a couple more here. Where you're overly jealous, you're always calling, you send, 20, 30, 50, 100 messages a day. There we are, putting more pressure on the relationship.
Another thing that can put a lot of pressure, lies. When there are lies in the relationship, this can destroy, huh? It's going to be...
No, actually, when you speak about lies, no relationship will withstand lies. Lies is simply a deal breaker, right? There should never be lies. Lies is not the kind of thing that you put up with. We don't know what's gonna happen here, but if this thing would burst now, I would say lies would definitely make it burst, right?
Yes.
So another thing that we could talk about is not spending enough time together. You're
Yes.
too busy with work.
Time management.
Yeah, you're stressed out because of work. So when you come home, you're angry, you are upset, you're grumpy, and you have no time for your partner. You only have time for your work. So we are here adding more pressure to what's already under pressure.
Another thing that can add pressure to this, family interference,
Yeah,
right?
when the family interferes too much.
Yes, everybody wants to give their opinion about your relationship, and this can bring also pressure.
Yeah. So it's interesting how people always want to offer advice. Advice is good, but too much advice can be confusing.
You can
It comes to a
filter.
point where you don't know who to listen to anymore, because one says, no, you should do this, the other one says, no, you should do that, and some advice makes no sense at all. Oh, just go travel. Oh, you need to travel. Okay, you can travel and forget about your problems, but you cannot travel forever. At some point you come back home and the problems are still there, right?
Yes.
This is it. So more things adding pressure to the relationship.
Betrayal also.
This is, if I could put them all here, I'll put them all here. Infidelity. When you betray your partner, I have to put less at a time here, but it's definitely something that will put an unbearable pressure. When the partner helps you, it makes it easier. Come on, I'm helping you.
Am I professional?
Sorry, we're not perfect. We're not professionals at this. This is the first
Yes, time that you do this.
we are doing this, but Anna,
What a
let
medal.
me even add some more here, because infidelity, when it comes to infidelity,
Puts a lot of
it's
pressure.
something that is simply a pressure that it's basically unbearable. No relationship will withstand unfaithfulness, yeah? So
Also, to put a lot of pressure, a lack of intimacy,
so
right?
there is no attention to the intimacy in the couple.
This is very important.
It leads to frustration, it leads to it affects the relationship a great deal. It's like, it's like not breathing, yeah?
Yeah.
It's like not breathing. Imagine if someone, blocks you, stops you from breathing, blocks your nose, so the oxygen in the relationship is the intimacy. So we're gonna continue, you get the point, we're gonna continue adding this here, and we are going to see what's gonna happen very soon. Stay with us. Oh my goodness, something's about to happen here. So, Anna, as we could see,
Yes.
even the strongest relationship, if it's too much pressure on it. There's so much pressure
One day
that a
can
relationship can take. And you shouldn't be putting pressure on your partner. Relieve the pressure of one another. That's what you both should be doing. So this is the watermelon experience. I hope you have learned something from it. We're gonna go to a break. Up next, more on the Love Talk Show. Dear viewer of the Love Talk Show, did you know that you can watch full-length episodes now via our YouTube channel? All you have to do, Ana, is to find the Love Talk Show YouTube channel, subscribe. You're going to find all our episodes there in full length, and you can watch for free. You can even copy the link and share with family and friends. But not only that,
You also in the social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, follow us, like, share, and comment.
and also don't forget to visit our website, lovetalkshow.tv. There you're going to find even more information that you will not see here on the TV show. And also you can write your questions. Send us your questions to the email questions@lovetalkshow.tv. All right, we would love to hear from you. Let's continue watching Love Talk Show.
Welcome back. On today's show, we are talking about winning your ex-partner back.
And now let's check out some messages that were sent to us for our, as you can see here behind the question mark, Dear Love Talk segment. You too can also write to us with your questions, should you want to, about any issues in your love life, not only via email, but also through social media. Feel free to send us your question. If you want us to read here on the show, we gladly will. If not, then just make a mention. We can correspond to you, directly, okay? Confidentially, no problem. So the first question sent to us is, I have been married for 4 years and my partner never apologizes. No matter how wrong he is, he does not take responsibilities for admittedly minor things between us. There's always an excuse, including saying that this is the way he is. I asked him for a temporary break, and we are now almost a month apart. I did that because he has to understand the impact of his actions on me and our relationship. Do you think I am wrong? Well, dear viewer, thanks for writing to us, first of all. So it's 4 years into the relationship, Ana. It's a quite young relationship. By that, I don't mean at all that just because it's a young relationship that you should put up with just anything, right? It depends. As we have said before, love has boundaries that need to be respected. And pretty much sounds like, from what you're writing to us here, that you have reached your limit, just like we showed in the previous segment with the watermelon experiment. By the way, if you're just tuning in, the watermelon experiment is something unmissable, right? You can watch later. This episode of Love Talk Show will be uploaded to our YouTube channel, and you should check out the watermelon experiment. But it seems, Ana, that the viewer has reached the limit. Right now they are apart. I think it's a month apart. She mentions here. He's coming across, from what we can say, as someone who is stubborn, someone who doesn't own up to his mistakes, who never says, I'm sorry, I'm always right, this is the way I am, But the question is, dear viewers, since you are the one writing to us, we are going to address to you, right? It's not he who is asking for our help, it's you. Maybe you didn't go deep enough during the dating period to detect this, or maybe you detected and your emotions maybe told you, oh, it's gonna be fine, after we get together, he's going to change. No, usually what is already appearing, an issue that is already apparent, showing clearly during the dating period will only get worse after they two get together, right? So she would have to see, why did I not notice this whilst we were dating?
Some red flags, right? Signs that in the dating period that you should keep an eye on.
Yeah, so that's why dating is so important to you who are single. Dating is not about hugging and kissing or going to bed or no. Dating is the period for you to realize who is as much as you can. Of course, you cannot know everything, but you need to scrutinize, right, Anna?
Yeah.
Ask important questions. Goals about the future, family upbringing, views on different subjects.
Yeah. The people has baggage, right? And because they in the dating period they don't talk, so they don't realize the person has some baggage that they.
4 years later, here is the situation.
Yeah.
So of course, this is not something that is like the end of it all. I understand that you got separated so he can see this. In the end of the day, it's pretty much out of your hands. Will he ever see this or not? Only he can answer this question. If he doesn't see this as being a problem, will you take him back and you can live with this kind of behavior from him? It's something that is in your hands. So this is what is to be weighed here for a decision to be made, yeah?
If she decides to stay with him, they could ask for help, right?
Yes.
Or marriage course or couple
and
therapy.
one thing also that is important to mention, you who have this habit of saying, oh, but this is just the way I am. Sometimes being the way you are doesn't mean that it's the right way, okay? So if you're not willing to change, we said this before, and it's important to see again. If you're not willing to let yourself be influenced in some things by your partner, then don't get into a relationship. You are already in a relationship with yourself. Continue with this. If you love the way you are so much that you're not willing to change, then put a ring on your own finger, make vows to yourself, and get married to yourself, because that's the only way it's going to work. If you want to be with someone, you need to be willing to compromise, to understand that there's a lot of things about the way you are that are not going to work for the benefit of the relationship. If you're not willing to change that, then don't get into a relationship at all, because you're going to suffer and you're going to make someone suffer too.
And for sure, when you let ourselves to be influenced by our partner, you become better people, right?
Only intelligent love understands that. Why don't you read the next question there?
So the next question is, my ex-girlfriend and I broke up 2 years ago, but every time someone mentions her name, this makes me dream of being together with her again. She was supposed to be my wife, but I did something wrong. I cheated on her. I know she still likes me, but she does not trust me anymore. What can I do to get my girl back? Okay, so a good thing that you said that you recognize that you did something wrong. But for sure, she was expecting from you something different, right? To be faithful. For sure, she put a lot of expectations in this relationship, and you broke the trust. So you need to work hard to gain her trust again, right? And it's up to her if she's going to accept him or not.
Yeah, it was a case of unfaithfulness, right?
Yes.
It's just like when you're doing your driving test. There are errors that you can make, which even the examiner, right, and the motor vehicle department understand. It's because you are new at this. And And when we are new at something, we tend to make mistakes. But there are critical flaws that if you make them one of those flaws, you fail the test altogether. Yes. Doesn't matter how many right things you do, you commit a critical error, you fail the test. And in relationships, Anna, unfaithfulness is a critical error. Yeah. Is a critical error. I'm not saying that this relationship is doomed for life, but you, before even thinking about, oh, will she ever take me back? Oh, every time I hear her name, you know, it brings memory. I know she's the woman of my life. If she's the woman of your life, then why did you cheat on her? This is an important question that you have to ask yourself. Why did I do this? Why did I let my emotions get the best of me? What am I doing now to protect myself from ever doing this to people I love again? Will she ever give you a chance or no? What you did left now the ball on her court. It's up to her. Maybe she will, maybe she won't. But I would not advise her to reconnect with you if you have not taken measures and shown enough evidence that you are not the same individual anymore. All right? And if she stipulates conditions for this relationship to come back, such as, I want to have access to your accounts, I want to see what's going on, you know, where you are, you will just have to submit to this. She would be giving you a break, and you should be really thankful should she decide to do that. But it's really up to her. But Anna, this is the issue. This is once again what we have to speak about emotions, you know. There's no point in just saying, oh, I love you. Oh, you're the love of my life. Then I go and I cheat on you. What does that show?
Weakness, right? You need to make sure that you want to be that person that's going to be good, to do good for yourself and to others around yourselves. Because, for example, oh, he wants her back, right? Mm-hmm. But if he doesn't change, he's going to keep doing the same mistakes again. It's just emotions by saying, oh, I want her back, I want to... But if he doesn't change himself to take action to change himself,
it's not going to work.
He's going to go to another relationship and do
another one,
and
it's still
do
not
the
work.
same
So
thing again.
the main point here, dear viewer, it's not about, oh, will she ever give me a second chance? But it's about, what am I doing to make sure that I will never do this to someone that I love again, so I don't have this kind of disappointment to myself and to others, okay?
My fiancé and I just broke up. I have tried to reach him by every possible means, by phone, text, calls, emails, but he doesn't reply. I know that he's angry at me, as I made some mistakes. I know that. I want to show him that I am sorry about this, but he doesn't give me space to show my feelings. So we understand that you want to be back with your ex, but I see here that you are too much. You're sending the wrong message by trying to contact so much him by phone, texts, calls. So you need to give him space and time to heal. You just mentioned that you did some mistakes, right? So you need to be sincere, to work on yourself and give time, because eventually they're going to meet and she's going to show that she really changed. Yeah. But while she's not working herself...
What I see, Anna, is that maybe I understand her concern. The concern is that she's not getting any reply from him. So you just broke up, okay. Maybe it was a difficult breakup. She didn't get into the details of how this breakup was. If it was one where they just agreed, okay, we need to give it a time, or maybe they just had an argument or a fight and then each one went separate ways. And now, if this was the way, I understand. You know, you want to find out, okay, are you still upset at me? Or at some point, it would be good for the partner to reply and just say, hey, you know, I'm okay, you know, let's give it some time. At least you would have some feedback from the other one. Okay. But she didn't get into the details of this. I understand that this could be the reason why she's trying so hard. But well, since you've tried, since you've insisted, and you didn't get yet a reply, so you said you just broke up, give it some time. And as we said previously, right, don't bombard your partner with text messages or phone calls or emails. It's the wrong thing to do. You already sent it. Wait. Yeah. On the other hand, use this time to focus on improving yourself. Getting back to all the things we said before, the do's and don'ts, the questions we asked here. If you missed it, you can still watch this episode on YouTube. It will be fully uploaded, right? But on the other hand, Anna, I don't even know if the fiance who she mentioned is watching us, but it would be good for him to give a reply, even to say, okay, you know, I got your emails, I acknowledged your calls and everything. I need some time, I'm working on myself. Fine. But not, once again, coming back to what we said before, don't let this time be like forever, because the longer you wait, it's important to wait for some time, but the longer you wait, don't turn that into extended months and years. It's going to make it very complicated.
Just to have the balance, right?
You have to have a balance, okay? So we hope you have learned something valuable from today's show. We had a great time.
Yes, it did.
Yes, we try to share as many important information or as much as important information as possible. Now we have run out of time. Sadly, on TV, there's always a time constraint. But we'll be back next week with another relevant topic on the Love Talk Show. It was great being here with us. If you want to watch this show again, you can go to Love Talk Show on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel. We also have the Facebook, Instagram, social media. It will be a pleasure hearing from you, and you can give us your invaluable feedback there, all right? Now we have to go, but we see you next week. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
This program is brought to you by UCKG.